It's Trans Day of Visibility, everybody, and I wanted to go through some of my stickers that I have been getting ready to sell to all of you. I'm actually taking these around to stores all over San Diego, and I've got a couple of biters. People want my stuff, so it's really exciting. I wanted to share with you guys some of the stories behind some of these stickers, because it is Trans Day of Visibility. Nature's non-binary. I swear, I've studied her. Nature is super gay. So I wanted to share some of my beautiful stickers with you. They give me joy. Look at that. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. Because I have a little journal here. I've been getting through some stuff recently. Look at how much. Look at all that. I have 3 of these. Recently woke up from amnesia. Not a joke, just a fact. Go check out one of my favorite non-binary queens, Bimini Bambulash. And here, let's do one. Let's do one sticker, shall we? Okay. No, I gotta do it like this. Hold on. Okay. There she is. There she is. A little sales pitch for a second. I get all my stickers made from Black Cat printers, which is Black Cat labels, which is down near SDSU. They're all printed here in San Diego. I don't send them out anywhere to some international place where some poor human has to make less than I deserve to be paid for doing the same work. And they're wonderful humans, women-owned business and very queer friendly. So for people like me who are trans, but very straight cis coded, not always the case. I'm actually non-binary, masc leaning, gender fluid. I just come out as a girl sometimes, especially when I'm feeling like doing drag. In fact, I only felt good about my sexuality and gender when I got really good at drag. So here I'm actually going to share some of my favorite. This is favorite stickers of all time. So we got Trixie here, Miss Trixie Mattel. This is actually a shot from their Netflix show. Looking for Katya. Oh, here we go. Netflix I like to watch. And that one's a drag race picture. Yeah. So these are 2 of my queens. They helped me transition. And mainly Adore Delano, girl who just transitioned as well, helped me figure out my sexuality. Helped me figure out that, yeah, I'm allowed to be who I am. I'm also wearing a shirt that's from 9th grade. And for me, 9th grade was 1996, right? Oh, there we go. I'm gonna put it right there. I have these stickers of Trixie and Katya everywhere as kind of guardian angels, because finding the girls, finding the dolls, finding the queens is what helped me figure it out. Oh, it was drag. It was drag. Okay, that makes everything make more sense, because yeah, non-binary masc leaning. Nature, she's so pretty. And Mariah Carey being one of my drag moms, my first drag mom, she taught me how I kind of wanted to look. If I'm feeling like a girl, if I'm feeling like, you know, gender fluid, and maybe I don't want to be a non-binary masc leaning monk. There's spoiler alert. I was internally very much a monk. Very much. Wanted to be a monastic, you'd call it a nun, but I was like, no, I'm a monk. From the time I was about, actually my whole life, my whole childhood, I thought I was going to be, I was like a monk, and sexuality and gender and all that was like, that's a cute story that y'all use to talk about things, but like I don't know, I don't really vibe with that. Kind of just want to chill and be by myself and be a monastic. That changed quickly. Where should we put this one? Let's put the butterflies on back. Mariah. Oh, these are pretty big. I'll be selling the little babies. We got some of the little, slightly smaller ones. This is a frog here, and if you can kind of see, it has a little peace sign. If you knew me in high school, which is when I got my amnesia and I got it all back, I got all these memories back in July, all at once. It's very overwhelming. I don't suggest getting years worth of memories back all at once. It really does screw with your system. Frogs are the absolute best. But anyways, this shirt, I'll probably put up a picture there of what I looked like in 9th grade wearing it. because it helps me remember that life is not a storyline with a narrative arc. It's not like you're not. That was my problem for years. Oh, hello, cephalopods. Oh, cephalopods are queer, 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 and I really associate with cephalopods. This is a blue ring octopus that is actually from the Pacific Ocean. It is extremely venomous. They're very, very bad if you step on, touch, or do anything with them. So when I was in ninth grade, I was just as obsessed with stickers. I was, oh my god, you guys, mantids. I would have died for these stickers. I was collecting this stuff. I was still writing. In fact, I think right here, there is behind here on some hummingbird Lisa Frank stationery. There's actually a letter that I wrote in the late 90s to a friend of mine. And here's my version. So you got Lisa Frank's back in here. Can we see this one? There we go. I'll probably put one up on the screen. And there's my version. And I also have a little baby version of it. But the rainbows of it all, the nature of it all. Nature was my first friend. Nature was my first drag mom. And back in the late 90s, when things were a little less inclusive and in general pretty bad, especially for girls and people assigned female at birth, AFAB humans like me, it was pretty bad. A lot of bummer alert essay, a lot of sexual assaults. That's what we just called dating in the 90s. And I have learned, there's my name, I've learned to take all of that and go, okay, just because bad things happened in high school or in my early parts of my life, like a lot of trans people, doesn't mean that it's like this. It's not like, oh, it was bad then, so it's better now. It gets better, right? That's what everyone says. No, not how it works. And that's actually a really, really, really toxic way to think about things, because I'm figuring out where I'm going to put this sticker here. Should we put it? There's a good spot. I love stickers because it just doesn't matter. It's like, who cares? You find a spot. Maybe they overlap. I don't know. Who cares? When you get to know yourself, you ascend, as a lot of people call it. They kept saying that to me this summer. I think you have ascended. Yeah, I figured my shit out. I figured out who I am. I figured out that I'm a California girl. And I have always been about love. I've always been about all you need is love. And that's okay, just because bad stuff happened. Everyone had a really bad time in high school for the most part, even the popular cool kids, trust me. Because it turns out I think I was one. Oh, wow. No, seriously, this summer, it was like, the glasses, and she's all that. And she's like, they take off the glasses, and she's gorgeous. No, that happened to me this summer. So just because bad stuff happened doesn't mean your life is always going to get better. And it's, oh, look at that. And that it's like this. And I would, every time I went to talk to a therapist or a psychiatrist, because I've had a few over the years helping me with my stuff, and they would say to me, so how's it going? And I'm like, well, today's the best day of all my life, the best day ever, because I'm the farthest I've ever been from that. But that's actually not a good way to think about it, because what happens is, and everyone does this as far as I know, if you've had a really bad time at a particular time early in your life. I'm trying to get this one off of here. If you do that, what can happen is, if you're like me, you Jedi mind trick yourself into saying, okay, I'm doing so good now, and I've been doing good. Let's look from the lessons where I've learned how I've been doing good. And that was just, we're looking away from that. Well, it turns out, even during really terrible times, there were good things too. It was very high-low. I actually had quite a lot of inclusivity. I had a lot of people in my life who were like, yeah, who you are, we get it. I get it. And then I had, wow, I'm really struggling with this one, which is not good advertising for my stickers, is it? I actually pick this particular kind of vinyl sticker that's a little bit thinner than a lot of the decals you buy in the store, because when you get them on your water bottle, for instance, they curve and they form to it. Okay, much like you should do with your gender and sexuality, not fight it. And that's part of what was going on. A lot of it, of course, was just, really terrible guys. Horrible, horrible humans and other humans who raised me. So much trauma. But just because I have ascended and I know my stuff and I know who I am and all of that's good and we're all happy and vibing, doesn't mean that was all bad and this is all good. It doesn't work that way. That is such a toxic way of thinking about things. And if anything, I want to tell anybody out there who is like, okay, I'm in my 40s or 50s or whatever, 60s, I don't know, whatever age you are. And if you're like, okay, maybe like this manted here, maybe the kids these days they've got some stuff going on I kind of like. Maybe okay, maybe I don't have to be the cis heterosexual person that we're raised to think we have to be. Maybe we could be sticker loving, gender fluid, non-binary, but very straight passing humans. California love. It's literally about that. It's literally about California has everything here you could ever want, I think. And we absolutely accept everyone. Indigeneity, to be indigenous, to be native. I like putting them over. See, if they're thin, you can do this. You can wrap. You can't do that with thicker stickers. You can do that and it still works. We're very inclusive here. We love everybody. We love all that for you. And California Love is my brand now because it just encapsulates everything. And the sticker company that I have very much celebrates that. This is all of my retro 70s, 60s coloring that I was going through early childhood trauma. I was processing it. So I was like, remember all that stuff from the early 80s that was leftovers from the 70s and 60s? I hated that because at the time as a child, I was like, ooh, life sucks. And so everything from that time period made me very unhappy. Like, can you even see like the ugly couch pattern? And now I'm like, you know what? Just because something seemed ugly, just because you had a bad relationship with the materiality of the time and you looked around and you saw these colors and things and went, my life sucks. That sucks. I said, no, we're rehabilitating these things. We're rehabilitating loving stickers and Lisa Frank. We're rehabilitating color schemes just because it got better doesn't mean it was always worse. Because if you tell yourself it was all worse, what happens, at least in my case, is I Jedi mind tricked myself into thinking, okay, it was all bad, so if I get away from it, it'll be great. That's where I'm happy. Good things happened too. People were inclusive, people were loving. I did actually have family. I did actually have people who loved me unconditionally. And I forgot that. I literally remembered to forget it in order to suppress memories of trauma. And that's what you do. You suppress it because it's still there. It's festering. And unless you process your trauma like Velveeta, which can, I'm sure stay in a tin for like 50 years or 100 years in a bunker and keep you fed. If you don't do that, it festers and it's really bad. So you got to process it. Journaling is extremely good for that. Also just designing and making stickers for your friends and sending them to them and writing them letters of love and telling them, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I remember now. I remember that they were good times. So this shirt and Lisa Frank up on my wall and old letters from the 90s right here on Lisa Frank stationery from 9th grade. I am bringing all these things back and I'm trying to understand that ascending doesn't mean it was always like this. It simply means, hey, I've hit a threshold where I think I've got my shit together. I think I'm gonna be okay because I understand the past. You have to understand the past. And you have to recognize that it's also not a history that you're living. It's just a winding, crazy road. It's not like this or like this. It doesn't work that way. So happy Trans Day of Visibility. If you're interested in any of my stickers, especially if you're a business here in San Diego, my website is just laineyasha.com. You can search for my name anywhere. I've been marketing myself and hashtagging myself since this era, since we first got the internet, the little PC we had in our living room in 97, 98, 98, I think. I think I got my first email. Sugarbaby at hotmail.com. And my other one was bondbabe2be. I'm so straight passing. It's bizarre. It took me a while to figure it out. So if you're interested in my stickers, you can go to my website. I'm trying to sell them on Instagram and TikTok, but it's such a pain in the butt. So please check out my website. I have lots here for you. And of course, I am a woman-owned business. Let's call it, it's queer-owned business. I am Native. I'm disabled. I figured out I was autistic over the years too. It's another thing I had to go, oh, I was an absolute mess in high school. I was a complete, oh my gosh, this awkward, completely socially unaware, completely, actually, no, I was pretty cool. I was pretty cool. Again, if you've had trauma, if you've come out as disabled, if you came out in terms of sexuality and gender, the whole it gets better, that can actually be very toxic. So if there's any message I can tell you, it's buy my stickers and then use them to decorate a journal or something where you tell yourself about the things that happened and you process that Velveeta. Because if you don't, oh, it's bad. It's very bad. It's bad. I don't suggest it. It's not fun. Amnesia is not it. It's not it. It hasn't been it. However, Trans Day of Disability is always awesome.